Good morning and welcome back to another video. So today, as I've decided that the last Q&A, episode 1, went so well, I'm going to do episode Q of our Royal Navy Q&A, and this is going to be based on the comments that you put on that video. And if you haven't seen that one already, go and give it a look. I'm going to leave a little link in the iCard, or I'm going to leave it at the end of the video as well. So feel free to go have a look at that, and maybe that'll answer some of your questions if you've got any others. But yeah, I've selected 7 more questions from your comments. So again, if I don't bring up your question that you asked, I may have already answered it in the previous video. So make sure you have a look there. But yeah, let's crack straight in with question number 1. Now, question number 1 is, how often do you stay at shore? And they say, by this I mean, like, what are the equivalent of weekends off when you're not on deployment? And do you have any knowledge on the accelerated apprenticeships? Much appreciated. So thanks for asking. That's a bit of a 2-in-1. So how often do you stay at shore? Weekends off when you're not on deployment. Okay, so stay at shore. So basically, you can be based on a ship that is deployed away at seas, and obviously you will get shore time when you're away on deployment. It's just when you come in for either, that's where your operational is for one, your operation is, sorry. Either you come in for replenishments, whether that be food or fuel, if it's not at sea. And during those times, you'll either get a down period if you're not on a duty, for example. So that's when you get shore time at sea. By this, weekends off, basically, if you're alongside in Portsmouth, Plymouth, Faslane, wherever you're based, then weekends are normally your own unless you're on duty or unless you've got work planned, which is not likely most of the time, as the dockyard sort of shuts down as well on the weekend. Obviously everyone has a weekend, so, or most people do anyway. So unless you're on duty and you're alongside on a ship, then you have the opportunity to go home, or you can stay on the ship if you want and just go out and do whatever you like. You don't have to work those days. If you're not on a ship and you're based on a shore establishment, then it's the same thing. You're either working on a duty that weekend, or you are free to go home and do as you please, or staying on board if you like, on board the establishment, and go out and do as you please. So yeah, the weekends are very much your own unless you're working or on a duty. Do you have any knowledge on the accelerated apprenticeships? So my interpretation of this is like the fast track schemes. So the fast track schemes, I think they started sort of like putting it through most of the departments now, but in the engineer world, it's very, you see quite a lot of it. So if you show through your academic skills and your actual physical skills as well, that you are quite keen on the job, and you're quite switched on and all of that, you'll get put on, or at least be looked into putting you on a fast track scheme, which basically gives you the opportunity to progress through the ranks a lot quicker, and obviously progress through your career a lot quicker. So by this, it's basically like they give you less time to do your task book and all that sort of stuff, because they assume that you're just going to smash it out really quickly. But then this will allow you to get placed on those promotional schemes a lot quicker, which is great if you're switched on. If you're not, well, not switched on, but if you're not keen, then you don't have to do it. You can always ask to be taken off if you want to take it more steadily through your career. But yeah, that is your choice. But if you're showing through your classes and all that sort of stuff that you are keen, they'll probably put you on a fast track scheme. But like I said, it's your choice whether you would like to be on it or not, and you can take yourself off if that's what you would like. So I hope that answers your question. We'll move on to the next one. So question number 2, and it says here, I'm in year 9 and I've always wanted to be in the Royal Navy and work as a warfare specialist. Oh. I was wondering, what's the discipline like and what the pros and cons of being in the Navy? Okay, so for the second part, pros and cons of being in the Navy. Pros, obviously it's a very secure job. A lot of people this year are wanting to be recruited into the Navy. Obviously job security, global pandemic, all that sort of stuff. It's quite a good place to be for that. You do get some perks still. You do get some perks. There might not be many. You get your bloody Forces Defence discount card, even though students probably get more discounts than the forces, but that is just one of them. Obviously you get paid a lot more paid leave than other jobs. So I think, I can't remember, is it 36 or 38? Anyway, you get 2 weeks Easter, 3 weeks summer, and 2 weeks Christmas and bank holidays is your leave balance. And obviously you can accrue more through being on board or being on deployment and stuff where you can't take it, or you get an extra day every month when you're on a ship. So that's a good perk, and that's all paid leave as well. So if there's a free space within your ship's program, you can take that leave and it's all paid leave, which is great. Cons, it is obviously, you can't really, the work-life balance is sort of what it is really. It's in some places in the Navy, and some jobs that you can work in within the Navy, that is more of a thing, where you can sort of balance out your work-life balance. But some others, obviously if you're on an operational ship, that's, you sort of do what you're told pretty much, or do what's planned, but then you're joining the Navy, so you're going to expect that anyway. Some people can't get to grips that the Navy is a lifestyle, like I said many times in the previous video, and they may consider that a con. But yeah, it's you just got to think of the cons of being in the armed forces are, you're there as, you're there to protect the country. Whenever you need to be called, you're called. So obviously planning your life is not as easy as it is in other jobs. But yeah, that would be one of the cons. Going back to the first bit, what is the discipline like? Well, if you're a disciplined person, then it's, a walk in the park. If you're not a very disciplined person, then you're gonna have to get used to it quite quickly. Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself in a lot more trouble. But yeah, year 9, that was sort of the time while I was thinking about my entire childhood. I was sort of wanting to put some, movement into motion there. So I think I started looking into the careers office and that with my friend and all that sort of stuff. And by the time I was doing my GCSEs, I was going through my recruitment tests at the same time. So that was pretty cool. And then by the time I left school, I had 3 months and I joined my basic training. So yeah, great time to start thinking about it. If you're thinking about it straight after school, in my opinion, it's a great idea because you go straight in and you're getting paid for doing your training as it is an apprenticeship. So yeah, warfare specialist. But yeah, anyway, that's my point of view. Question 3. Hello Callum, just wanted to say I've watched all your videos throughout my application process and off to Collingwood in May. My phase 1 is in Collingwood because the number of recruits growing to Raleigh. There's not much space yet. Super excited. Any tips? Okay, so that's really cool, because obviously this is sort of the first time phase 1 is going on in Collingwood. They're doing it also in Dartmouth. I think it's Whitted division. But yeah, that's really cool. I have got a tips video, phase 1 tips video. I'm pretty sure it's going to, apply to any phase 1 training. So go have a look at that. I'll leave it in an iCard up on the top here somewhere, and I'll also leave it at the end as well. So that's the 2 videos you can have a look at the end of this video. That should cover all the tips, but a quick run through. Just get used to the workload, especially under minimal sleep. Manage your kit. Remain relatively fit and keep fit beforehand. That will sort of help you through. And yeah, obviously just sort of accept that some crap's going to get thrown your way during your phase 1, because it will, but just accept it. It's not the real Navy, it's just 10 weeks of work and you're getting paid for it. So anyway, moving on, question number 4. How difficult is getting into the Royal Navy lifestyle? Now I remember answering this one in the comments, but I thought it'd be good for everyone else just to have a little listen. So the Royal Navy lifestyle is really easy to get into as long as you let yourself get into it. Path of least resistance. So if you decide that, oh, I'm struggling a bit, I don't know why they're asking me to do this, blah, 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 I'm just, all that sort of stuff, then you're going to find it hard just to, seep into the lifestyle. But if you just allow yourself to get into it and sort of regiment yourself, discipline yourself and all that sort of stuff just to get into that, it's going to be early starts most days, it's going to be, might be late nights. And if you just sort of get into it and all the routines that follow, then it will just become part of your nature, and it is a lifestyle and it is a change. So I think that's why I normally say the earlier the better, so you get out of that sort of not civilian way or whatever you like, but you just sort of, you acclimatise to it a lot quicker. But that is absolutely your choice, whether or not you allow yourself to get into the Royal Navy lifestyle. Some people don't, and some people leave, and that's their choice. But I've found it quite easy from a young age. It's what I wanted, so I was obviously wanting that lifestyle. But yeah, you'll find out when you get there. You might think you really want to do it. You get there and you're like, oh, you know what? Actually, it's not for me, and you can leave. Well, you can leave after your period of time, or in basic training, depending on what you like. So, how difficult is it? Well, as easy as you make it. That is my answer. Okay, question number 5. Just finished basic training and was wondering what phase 2 is like and how different it is to rally, as my phase 2 is an HMS Sultan. Okay, so your phase 2 might be an HMS Sultan, or it could be in Collingwood, or it could be back down in Raleigh, or are they the main phase 2 establishments? They're the ones off the top of my head anyway. So phase 2 is more about your trade training. So by that I mean, like, what you join to do in the Navy is what you're going to learn in phase 2. So from my point of view, it'll be the ETWE sort of aspect of life. So I learn electronics, communications, computer science, and, you know, sort of technology, weapon systems, explosives, hydraulics, all that sort of stuff. And that was really good. The way it's sort of structured is it's sort of like week/2 week modules, and you'll have a test or you'll get assessed through it, and these will end up getting you your qualifications that you'll need, or, you know, that you'll qualify for at the end of your course, that you can take civvy side when you leave, or if you leave. And these are transferable skills that they'll recognise as well, so that will make you employable outside if that's what you decide. Phase 2 lifestyle. So for example, you'll still be up in the mornings. You'll get mustered in the morning about 8 o'clock, or no, earlier than that. I think your first lesson starts 8 o'clock, so you probably get mustered and finish around 1:45. So yeah, 8 o'clock you go to your first lesson, and you'll be there throughout. You can consider yourself in class, if you like, up until lunchtime, so 12 o'clock, and you'll have an hour's lunch, and then you'll resume work from sort of like 1ish to 4 o'clock. And then after that, you'll come back to your accommodation, and you'll have a bit of downtime. You might have dog watch sports, which is 4 till 8, and yeah, so that will just be you'll go down to the PTIs, and they'll just give you a little bit of a workout. It might be some like team games, or it might be like a circuit or something like that, but you'll be doing that. And then afterwards, on completion of that, you'll be doing you'll just do a bit of clean up for rounds, and the duty staff will come round and check your accommodation, and as soon as that's all complete, then they'll pipe the carry on, and you will be allowed on shore leave, and you can go wherever is obviously within your grasp, but as long as you're back by a certain time. If you're over 18, I think it's back by 6 o'clock, something like that. If you're under 18, it's Cinderella leave, I'm afraid. You've got to be back by midnight, which is what I was under for all of my training. So don't worry about it, it happens. If you're under 18, it will just, you know, when you become 18, obviously you can just go and do whatever you like, within reason. So anyway, yeah, so that's sort of like the lifestyle. It's more of your education based part, your trade training, and like I said, it is what you're learning, you're learning what to do, what you join the Navy to do. Yeah, so that's that really. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so question 6 is a double whammy. So it's can you smoke cigarettes while in training and on deployment, and can you drink alcohol while in training and deployment? So the answer is you can smoke cigarettes, but you can't smoke on bases anymore in the Navy, and I'm not sure what it's like on deployment. But the Navy have now gone under this sort of smoke-free within establishments. This means you can smoke, this is what I interpret anyway, you can smoke, but you have to go outside of the establishment. And obviously if you're working, you're far away from the main gate, that's, you know, you're not going to get many break times or all that sort of stuff, especially if you're in training. I just wouldn't, you're not going to get enough time to go and have a cigarette and come back, or it's going to take up your entire break just to do that. If that's what you're into, then go for it. But you know, it's just one of the new sort of, they want to keep the Navy fit sort of thing, and cut cigarettes. Vapes and e-cigarettes, I believe, are still allowed, obviously within the certain designated areas, so you can do that still within the establishment. I'm pretty sure that will be in the same with training. But yeah, it's no smoking any tobacco within the establishment at the moment. You have to go outside. Can you drink alcohol while in training and on deployment? Within phase 1, you will get the opportunity, and you'll get your station card, which allows you, I can't remember what week it is it week 5 maybe? You'll get your station card, which allows you to go to the Junior 8s bar, and you're allowed to have a few drinks. And I think you just have you're allowed your 2 drinks, and then you go back, or you can have your 2 drinks and stay for a while, and then go back whenever your curfew is. But yes, you can drink alcohol whilst in training, and in phase 2 also you can drink alcohol as well. And on deployment, yeah, 2 tins a day, it's still a thing. They used to say it's 3 tins because we got rid of the top, but it's still just 2. And obviously when you're on deployment, if you're on a bit of shore leave, you can drink obviously within that area's rules with drinking. So I hope that answers your question. 7, okay. What do you do if you're off ship? Is there any work, or is it just like a big holiday? Okay, so what do you do if you're off ship? So for example, if I'm working on a ship and it's come to the end of the working day, then and I'm not on duty, then I have the freedom to do as I please until leave expiry, which is usually like 7:30 in the next day. So if you live really close, then you can obviously go home, and people do. That's called living RA. And they just go home at night time and they come back in the morning, which is great. If you don't, you live on board, then you can obviously go out wherever, you know, if for example in Portsmouth, I can just go out into Portsmouth, you know, you can go on a night out with your mates or whatever. We can just go out, go to a gym, go to an external gym, or go shopping, or go for something to eat, whatever you like. That's within the working week. So, and then obviously you've got to be back on board by 7:30 the next morning to then start work for 8 o'clock. If you're not working on a ship and you're in a shore establishment, it's exactly the same thing. You won't have a leave expiry as such, but you will obviously have to turn up to work the next morning. That's normally at 8 o'clock. So go out, do what you like, come back, and then just make sure you're at work the next day. If you are in a green leave period, then you can take leave throughout the week. So if you're not on deployment, you're allowed to put leave in if you've got any excess, which means, for example, if next week was a green leave period for me, I'll be able to put some leave in and spend some time at home, or go on holiday or whatever. That's down to your ship and its program. It still works with amber leave period as well, but that basically just gets accepted by the different levels within the ship. So green leave is like, yeah, absolutely, you can go on leave. Amber leave, I think, is with your HOD. So your head of department has to authorise your leave, and then red leave is CO, so the captain of the ship, or the person in charge of wherever you are, has to authorise that and say, yeah, okay, we can spare this person to go on some leave. So green, amber and red sort of leave periods. So if you're going on leave, then yeah, it's a big holiday, I suppose, because it's obviously paid leave. If you're on a shore establishment, there is always work going on, and you'll be assigned to a place of work, whether that be a gym, so you can be a gym runner, or you go and work in the stores office, or you go and work in an employment cell, or if you're an engineer, you've got like a maritime support unit and all that sort of stuff, where they lend you out to ships that are in the dock to obviously help them with some of their engineering, sort of either serials or just they need some extra help and work. So yeah, there is plenty to do within the dockyard if you're not on a ship. So just bear that in mind, and you'll be put into an employment cell, which will then put you somewhere, and you're basically there until you're needed on another ship, and then you'll get to go on a ship after that when a space comes available. Or if you're really keen, then do just keep talking to your career manager or talking to your draftee, and they will see it to it that you get on a ship as quick as possible. So is it just like a big holiday? Okay, with regards to going away, if that's what you were implying, if you're on deployment and you're on a ship and you come alongside, so for example we come alongside Gibraltar and it's end of the working day, then yeah, same, you can go off and do whatever you like within the rules of the area, and you have to be back within the ship's sailing orders for one, and leave expiry. I don't know why I'm so foggy today, but anyway. But yeah, so sailing orders and leave expiry, you've got to follow those really to the T, otherwise you'll be in big trouble. And it can seem like a big holiday sometimes. You know, you're with your mates and you'll be exploring different places. You're in hotter climates and, you know, holiday type destinations, if you like. And yeah, it's just good fun, but you are there to do the job, and you know that's the first thing that comes. That's the most important bit, whether that be in the anti-piracy, the anti-submarine warfare or anything like that. That's your primary role, and obviously the perk is that you get to come alongside these nice places. Okay, so I hope that answers your questions. That's 7 questions I've answered. I will leave timestamps to all of them, as I did in the last one. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like I said, I'll leave those links to those videos at the end card, so please have a look if you want to look at those to get some further information. And again, if you've got any more questions, just leave them in this one. I'll probably do an episode 3 if I've got more you know, good questions I believe other people will want to know. Yeah, and please just leave comments. If I don't, like I said, if I haven't answered yours within this video, I probably have in the comments anyway. So just have a look there, and I hope that you are all doing well in this global pandemic. I hope it ends soon, because I think we all want to get out. But yeah, keep chatting, guys. The community is great. Loads of people with their entry dates, which is brilliant. I wish you all the best of luck. Yeah, just keep commenting and I will keep answering, and again, I'll probably make another one if necessary. So okay guys, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.